Hi there. My name is Prakash Narayan. I'm going to walk through a couple of slides just so I set some context, and then I'll walk you through a demo showing this thing actually running. So I know I don't need to talk to this audience about the social networking phenomenon, so I'll jump into directly what zembly is. Can you hear me okay at the back? Yeah? So, folks, even though all of us are here for the same reason, I can't emphasize this enough. We're really at the cusp of a revolution, is what I call it, right? And all of us are enabling this revolution in terms of building these social applications. And Tim O'Reilly has captured it pretty aptly over here. It's going to change everything that we do, and this is going to be the future internet operating system, right? Again, this is a marketing chart, but it's very relevant here because the long tail is where the explosive growth is. All of us are building these situational applications. That's exactly what all of us are doing. And what Zembly is doing is enabling you to create these applications, and that's what we'll see in just a little bit. So where is the application growth? I mean, the fact is that so far we've been thinking in terms of applications as these large monolithic applications. And the characteristics of these applications are the small applications developed by casual developers. In fact, perhaps people in this room are not the typical kind of people who would be developing these long-tail applications, right? So it's the casual developers who are building these apps, and they need to be quick to build, easy to deploy, and the fact that we have these social platforms like Ning, MySpace, Meebo is what essentially lit the fuse and enabled us to build these applications on these mature platforms. So I'm going to close that window. I can hear the TV in the background, okay? Maybe not. What happened here? Come on. It's just not navigating. I just want to close that TV thing in the background. So what is Zembly? Zembly is it's a cloud-based development environment for building OpenSocial, Facebook, and application for other social platforms. So what we've done with Zembly is a social network in and of itself. And so you come here, and it allows users to create applications and host these applications targeting these social platforms like Facebook and OpenSocial. So what you should think of Zembly as a Wikipedia for creating social applications. Just as you would go to Wikipedia today for getting any content, you'll come to Zembly, and the social network, the operating system, has created applications, widgets that you can start reusing and building, and you'll see that when I show you in a demo. So it's live editable code that's available to you, and it's not just trivial widgets, but building full-fledged social applications that can tap into your social graphs and reach millions of users, right? So again, you do your development in a browser. So there's an IDE class editor running in the browser. And today we have support for HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and FBML. And there's search and invocation happens dynamically as you start going through it, and it's one-click publishing to the web. So you finished editing, and immediately your application is deployed. And the hosting is automatic. So not only is the hosting automatic, therefore your application also scales automatically because it's hosted on our back end. And what we've done is Zembly to enable social programming. What that means is you're creating these applications collaboratively. So as you create the applications, you can have your friends, you can invite your friends to participate and edit the same code, because all of them developing in the same location. And there's fine-grained reuse of artifacts, because you come in and you search by tags, and you find these artifacts, and you can use them. So think of all the trimmings you're familiar with around social networks, say slideshare.net, that everything that you have for content is now available to you for your code artifacts, for your widgets, for your mashups, for your services. And you get news feeds just as you would in the other social networks. There is a news feed. So let's say that you're consuming a particular service, and that service has changed. Then you get a news feed saying, hey, the API for the service has changed. And the nice thing is that you can have both versions of those APIs running simultaneously. And you can have your contacts, your friends, so that's your social network within Zembly, and you have a custom profile page. There's messaging. You want to send messages to each other within Zembly. You have the ability to do that. You can rate things. So if you want to crowdsource, again, think of slideshare.net for content, right? So which is the most popular, which one has been viewed the most, which one has been downloaded the most. Similarly, if there are multiple services for Flickr slideshows, which one is written best? It's a social network, right? So you have crowdsourcing around these artifacts. You can mark favorites. You can write comments on it. There's a timeline for each artifact that gets created. So everything that you're familiar with for social networks is now available to you as a developer to create your applications and maintain your applications. So things that you can create today. So things that you can create today, you can create widgets, services, OpenSocial apps, Facebook apps, Meebo apps, and iPhone apps. In fact, I'll show you how, if I have the time, or find me later, I'll show you how you can build an iPhone app right within Zembly and deploy it. So in fact, I'm going to show you now creating a MySpace app through Zembly. So what I'm going to do is let me jump into a demo and actually show you. First, I'll show you an application that we built on Zembly and deployed it just recently. So I'm going to show you this application running on MySpace. That's my profile on MySpace, and I'm going to go to the app, and it's called. So we created this application for the U.S. election, right? So you came into the app, and then you said, if the elections were held today, who would you vote for? This app is not running today because obviously the elections are over, but I'm able to run the app because I'm the developer of the app. So notice here that what we did is this app was running simultaneously on both MySpace and Facebook, and the data that's shown here is aggregated across the two networks. So you come in here and you see in California, you see that amongst the people who played the game in California, 77% of the people preferred Obama over McCain. And this is, again, people who played the game in MySpace and in Facebook. And notice how close the Electoral College voters. I mean, in the game, the final result was 369, and I believe Obama was 364. So that's how close we came in predicting the result of this election. So not only could you predict the results or indicate your preference as to who you would vote for, there were also polls that we conducted. So when you go to voice your opinion today, of course, you will get the summary of what the final result was. But during the time the game was running, there were all these questions that were issues that were being discussed in the campaign that you could voice your opinion on. And if you go to poll statistics, you'll actually see those questions. So there's only one other thing I want to show you before I jump into showing you an app that is running on MySpace that is built. Again, this is also built on Zembly. So the one thing I want to point out here is that, so the question is, who's better equipped to handle the current economic situation? And people said, gave their preference. And there is an option for you to sound off and provide your opinions and comments on that particular issue. And the nice thing here is that these comments, so for example, Roxana actually made that comment on Facebook, right? But we aggregate, since we use a common database, we aggregate all comments and present the information in one single screen. But so if Roxana was on MySpace, we would have shown her picture here as well. And not only that, what we also do is we take these comments, since what we have in Zembly is you have access to all the APIs of the web, right? So we've taken these comments and tweeted them. So MyPix US has a Twitter account, and you go here, and all the comments that appeared on the game is also appearing on Twitter, because we're able to just take that and use the Twitter APIs and provision those comments onto Twitter. So the other thing I wanted to show is come back here. If I go to the tally, so remember that we had 77% of people choosing Obama over McCain in California. So what I want to show you is we built a widget, right? So this widget is sitting in my blog. And so the nice thing about the widget is that the widget is not really running the application, but you can still get a taste of the application by saying, OK, who's leading in my state? So I come down here, and I say California, and it shows me first what the color of California. California is bright blue, and 77% and 14%. Because all these, the widget, the MySpace application, the Facebook application, are all sitting in the same place in Zembly and accessing the same database. So I'm able to do that. And now, so what we did is that we took this widget and we propagated it just about everywhere. So and during the time the game was running, this widget was available in numerous progressive blogs, and as a result, this widget alone got viewed over 1 million times. So from the widget, I can say play now, and it takes me to the landing page, which now from here I can go to either Facebook or MySpace. So what I want to show you now is, yeah. OK. So what I actually wanted to show you is give me 2 more minutes. Yeah. So I want to show you this thing running on Zembly. So you can go to zembly.com today, and so if you don't have an account on Zembly, click on the Join the Beta button, and it'll come up with a widget, an invitation widget, where you type your email address, and you get the invitation to join the beta. I'm going to sign in because I have credentials here. The network's slow. This Zembly is hosted on network.com, and the stack of Zembly, it's a Java EE application, so there's Glassfish and MySQL is the Zembly database, and it's running on Sunfire servers. So this is my social network, right? I come in here, and I don't think I'll have the time to actually go through a demo. So suffice to say that please find me afterwards, and I'll actually show you the process of creating an application and developing an application in Zembly. I'm going to hand it off now.